It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. And of course, today we are chatting to incredible women in Women's Month that are just doing all of the things. So what does it mean to run a business that doesn't just survive, but sustains? Now, this Women's Month, we shine the spotlight on women who are proving that profitability and purpose can walk hand in hand. Sustainability often gets linked only to climate action, but it's also about how we lead people and create products and design systems that last. Around the world, women entrepreneurs and leaders are pushing companies to be more transparent, more accountable, and socially conscious. So joining us today, Nicole Sherwin is here, founder of Eco Diva Natural, and Mushfiqah Samadin, business director at Aspire Solutions, who are proving in very different industries that sustainable business is the future. Ladies, so wonderful to have you on the seat today.
So nice to be here.
Talk about sustainable businesses. Of course, Nicole, I'm going to start with you. You showed us a beautiful glow ritual a little bit earlier on. But when people think of sustainability, they often think of the environment, right? What does sustainability mean to you, and how do you define sustainable business in your world?
Yeah, I think people do think about the environment, but it's so much bigger than that. It's really about your code of ethics, I think. Like, for me, it's very much about the kindness, the consciousness, and allowing the business to thrive in such a way that helps people, planet, and the environment, and animals. You know, it really is about being conscious in the business you're running. From the staff you are working with, to the packaging you're working with, to the end result. So that whole sort of farm to table, from the moment you start till you end your day, is so important to think about all these elements that help you not just sustain, but thrive, as you say.
Absolutely. Well, Mushfiqah, I love meeting women in tech. We need to see more women in tech.
Yes.
Definitely.
What do you believe that women bring to the sustainability conversation that shifts the culture of business?
So, I mean, Nicole's made it quite easy because she sketched out a process of things that are relevant.
Yeah.
In tech and in that space, I'd say women are always people-focused as the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, because it is such a transactional industry, I'd say empathy in the boardroom. So you'll come in and you'll look at what is going to add value, what is going to make an impact over what the transactional requirement is. And I think that is important to understand how sustainability is made up of the people, processes that they need, and fulfillment, and then staying ethical and ensuring that we're not just building systems but making an impact.
Definitely making an impact. And Nicole, you certainly have done that as well when it comes to Eco Diva. This whole journey started from a very personal experience and a very personal journey, right? Do you want to tell us more about that?
Sure. When I healed my own skin, I had a lot of skin issues. I realized that when your skin is out of balance, it's kind of talking to you. So there's a lot of systemic issues going on. So for me, I tried all the conventional routes and the latest creams and the trending creams and the things that dermatologists gave me to try and help. But the issue was on a systemic level. So I had to really unpack what products I was using, what I was eating. So I had to look at my gut health. I had to look at my stress levels. So my mental health was really, really important to unpack. And I've just found that cleaning out and going non-toxic and being conscious of what I'm putting onto my body and into my body made all the difference in the world. It literally rebalanced my skin so beautifully, but not just as a quick fix, as a long-term lifestyle adjustment. So for me, you know, bringing Eco Diva to the world was very much about offering the solutions that I took so long to find myself, and just, I love helping people. So that for me is just the most magical sustainability of the business, I think.
And it is also sustaining yourself as well, body, mind, and soul, which I think is really beautiful. Mushfiqah, I want to speak about Aspire Solutions for a moment. Works with everything from finance to community projects. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for sustainable impact through technology?
So I can bring it close to home in relation to Aspire. What is what we pride ourselves on is that we are actually in the public sector. Being in the public sector brings in opportunity to ensure that we are showing them innovation, making things available to others, building resilience. And I mean, within the public sector, it's always misunderstood because it is the taxpayers' money. So I am making a direct impact with innovation and ensuring that the community is impacted with what government needs to do, so whatever sustainable plan they have, right? Secondly would be education and leadership development. So I separate the two because education would mean having access to tech and what it's about. Leadership development is we don't want to sit in a space where you hold the baton and you don't pass it on.
Yeah.
So that is what would be relevant on for sustainability and what we're trying to do at Aspire.
I absolutely love that. When it comes to conscious customers, and you've also been educating for so long, Nicole, what role does conscious consumers play in pushing businesses to take sustainability more seriously?
I think they play the most important role because as the people, it's up to us how we are shopping. So when you get to the till, are you taking that polystyrene, plastic covered, I don't know, food item home with you, or are you choosing your products carefully? Are you choosing what you're consuming in such a way that it's kind to yourself, kind to animals, kind to the environment? And also, you know, people think that, oh, you know, there's no point in me recycling, just little old me, not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
But it's little old me times millions of us
Yeah.
going to make a huge difference. So for me, the education has been such a joy to be able to share with people how you can become more conscious and also really be kind to the environment and your surroundings by making clever choices, like really just thinking smart and not listening and not going the easy route only, but thinking smart and making those conscious choices, for me, is absolute key.
Well, we absolutely love having these two powerhouse women in studio today as we continue to celebrate Women's Month. They're not going anywhere. We will continue this conversation after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. Now, we are continuing with our Women's Month conversation on how women are driving sustainable business. Now, sustainability isn't just a set of practices, it's also a mindset. And it means making hard decisions, building long-term value, and not compromising ethics for short-term wins. For Nicole and Mushfika, the commitment to sustainability has shaped every part of their leadership journeys. And they're back with us as we chat all things sustainability. Mushfika, now, sustainable business oftentimes requires collaboration. What lessons have you learned about building partnerships that last?
I think the most important element of collaboration, where it is the one thing that is overlooked, is the meeting of values. So a partnership is established by trust. And we look, I mentioned, the difference of sustainability is empathy in the boardroom. It flows on from that to say, be that real person. What is it that you want to achieve? What impact do you want to make, but together? And that pay it forward element of collaboration eliminates competition. It puts you in a space where you also have more time, but finding the right partners equals sustainability. It allows you to be more proactive.
100%.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Now, Nicole, Eco Diva definitely is competing in the beauty industry that is dominated by some really big players, right? How has your sustainability philosophy given you an edge that has allowed you to not only play in this industry, but also dominate as well?
I think that the big players can't always move with heart because they've got such big infrastructures. And I think having a small business, you can really stick to your ethics.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy, because it certainly isn't. But I found sticking to those ethics of sustainability in every single way, and kindness specifically, has been the game changer for me. And I think it's a lot easier to maneuver when you have a small to medium business and can make those quick shifting decisions without that big infrastructure. So it's been an absolute joy for me, and continues to be.
I love that. Mushfiqa, I know that mentoring is also really, really important to you. Why is it so important for you to raise up the next generation of women that are moving successfully through this space?
So from a mentoring perspective, again, I mentioned earlier, there's the differentiator between education and leadership development, and it is passing that baton. You can't pass it without imparting elements like ethics, as Nicole said. So there is teaching someone a trade, a capability, and mentoring them to say, you know what, you wanting to become a software developer, this is the tools and skills you need. What does that make you as a person? How do you evolve in that space without mentorship and imparting real life elements? And ethics is a key focus because that is what has changed over the last 20 years based on what is accessible. So we need to be a bit more conscious of mentoring the soft skills element to create sustainability.
I also want to talk about the tech space because I know that you deal with constant disruption, right?
Crazy.
How do you balance innovation with sustainability in creating a sustainable business model?
So I would say in Aspire's form, we remain technology agnostic, and we are a custom software development house which allows for flexibility. So instead of just sticking to trend on, you know, this is what's happening now and this is the way we move, we ensure that our base on innovation is in the right space. And although it can be completely tiresome because you'll come in, I mean, the key focus now is AI. So as soon as I come into a boardroom, I'm there to sort out your management system. However, you've changed your fact sheet and said, I'm sorry, but I want to jump straight to AI. So it's finding that balance and being proactive to show them that investment comes from resilience and moving a bit slower.
You know what I love about this time that we are in the world today is 10 years ago, I don't think you ever would have switched on the telly to see two women that are just doing so well in their industries. I think it's so important. And Nicole, let's maybe end with you. For any woman that's watching right now who also wants to launch their own sustainable business, what is the one principle that you believe they should never, ever compromise on?
Definitely their ethics. So if you have ethics, ours are clean, kind, ethical. So that filters through in everything we do, from the ingredients we source to the packaging we choose to the way it's delivered to customers. Everything is a choice of sustainability. And I think when you compromise on that, especially when you're scaling for growth, you can say, oh, it doesn't matter if we can put that in some plastic, whatever. That's where you're going to fall short. Stick to your ethics, because sustainability isn't just, I keep saying it, it's not just about the environment, it's really about your own personal passion for moving forward in a business that makes you thrive, that makes your customers thrive, that doesn't hurt the environment or animals. I keep going on about animals. I love animals.
We love animals.
Love animals.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff. Well, we are so grateful for our shining stars today on the show, Nicole and Mushfiqa. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, they're showing us that sustainability is not just about the planet, it's also about people. And like Nicole said, ethics and long-term impact. Their journeys prove that when women lead with purpose, businesses can thrive while leaving a legacy of care and responsibility. Now, this Women's Month, may their stories inspire more women to step into leadership and drive change through sustainable business.